Hey, everybody, and welcome to our live broadcast. Are you doing all the things and wondering when will it ever pay off? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, if you're an entrepreneur or a high achieving, busy professional, this is something you're going to want to listen to because Emily and I are going to share some tips for how you can get back on track and start seeing a payoff for the hard work that you are doing. So, welcome. Interact with us, say hi, let us know any questions you have, where you're from. We're going to jump right in. I'm Nikki Ganjami, personal trainer for your mind and hypnotherapist, and I work with entrepreneurs, helping them to achieve their goals faster and easier. And Emily, take it away.
Thanks, Nikki. Hi, everybody. I'm Emily, and I help unhappy women in the corporate world gain confidence to stop trading their well-being for a paycheck. So I teach them to understand their desires and their strengths so they can overcome their fear and go after the life they deserve. And, Nikki and I were chatting, and this topic just kind of came up organically. We hear it with our clients a lot. I know Nikki was doing a master class and got some questions about it. And I just thought it was a really good time of year to be talking about this in general. The end of summer, we're going back into the high productivity, many of us don't ever stop, but for many of us, we're going back into it. So, when you feel like you're going full steam ahead and nothing is coming to fruition, it can be really frustrating. So we just wanted to give you guys some tools to navigate this and kind of come out the other end even stronger. So, Nikki, I don't know if you want to give a couple examples or an example of what was going on with you when we kind of thought about this topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to add to what you said, like we're going to be entering Q4 next month and we still can finish strong. We still have 4 months in this 2022 to achieve the outcomes and the goals that we have. So we feel that this topic is really relevant right now. And I was sharing with Emily about a masterclass that I did on mind hacks to achieve your goals. And one of the things that came up is having some conflicting feelings where part of you does want a certain outcome, but there's this other part that kind of shies back and resists. And we talked about how creating from that energy, and Emily's going to talk more about that in a little bit. But the one specific example, I was talking about a client who had a values conflict going on, where part of her wanted to do all the things and listen to her business coaches and mentors and do all these different strategies for becoming more visible and growing her business. And at the same time, she valued autonomy. And it was really important to her that she was doing things her way on her own terms. So there was that conflict where it's like, let me follow these strategies. And she found that she was doing all the things and then not getting the results, not getting the clients. So once we resolved that conflict where we aligned her actions more to her value for autonomy, it was funny. And, I say funny, it's interesting how the universe works. It was just like 2 weeks later, a client came through Google. It was like no effort. This person found her and then ended up signing up to work with her for a 3-month coaching package. So all to say, when you lead with positive energy and you're in flow, how things just align very nicely.
I love that, Nikki. And I think it's a lot about accepting what you're going through too. And like Nikki said, our energy can affect where it goes. So we all know those positive people who, it kind of seems like they have a rain cloud above their head, but they still have that positive energy and they still have the things that they're grateful for and they still do the things that make them happy. And, that's a great place to be in because sometimes life is 50-50, sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, does everything kind of suck right now? Right. But if we can have that mindset of, it's going to get better. I believe that there's a learning in all of this, or, this is happening for me, not to me. It comes from such a more like a much more empowering place. And, I was thinking of examples that I could give for this talk. And the one that came up that's really relevant is an example from my own life. I am going through a major shift in my business. And historically, when I go through major change, massive change, I'll experience anxiety, which, if you've ever experienced anxiety, a lot of us have, it can be debilitating, especially when you're a high achiever, especially when you have these big goals. And so, I can get really frustrated and say, oh, I coach on this. I've worked so hard and done all the work and done all the things. Or I can honor my experience and look at it from a different perspective and say, even though I have this anxiety, I'm still moving forward full steam ahead. Even though I'm having this anxiety, I'm allowing myself to process the emotion, right? Because it's just energy in motion. I just have this energy, and it's coming from a place of, wanting something better, right? So it's not a negative energy, and there's different ways that I can use it, and we'll get more into that in a bit. But I think just being able to honor your experience and keep that positive attitude is the first thing that I would recommend, and that Nikki would recommend, is to just notice how you're feeling, honor it, and just keep going. So I know, Nikki, you share the first thing that we had talked about that I think would be helpful for them.
Yeah, and it goes along with what you were saying about honoring how you feel. And I love how you put it, even though I feel this anxiety, I honor and accept how I feel. So the first strategy that I want to share is a pause, breathe, and acknowledge. And pause is really just stopping. It's like when you notice you're going in the wrong direction, you're going down the wrong track. It's like, stop it. It's like pattern interrupt, right? So you just pause. And the second step is to breathe. When we have these emotions are simply energy in motion. And just by taking 90 seconds of deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out, you could, breathe in for 3 seconds and exhale for 6 seconds and really start to calm down that amygdala that's going haywire and causing that anxiety. When you start processing emotion and you calm down, just doing that changes your perspective. And you could see things differently. And then the third step is to acknowledge. And that goes along with what Emily was saying. Even though I have XYZ, whether it's stress, anxiety, anger, frustration, whatever it is, this is how I feel, and it's okay in this moment. And then you can start reframing, what's another option? What's another possibility here? It's like, start where you are and then begin to move down a different track.
So just what Nikki said, start where you're at and make sure you feel the emotion and process it a little bit after you kind of stop it in its tracks from, gaining a hold of you. But then we actually have these 5 questions that would be really helpful, that you can look at and kind of dissect as you're going through whatever it is you're going through. And we're not going to share them all. Just comment me in the comment section. We'll send all 5 to you. But I just wanted to touch on a few. One of the questions is, what do I want to create from this, right? So when I notice I'm in a period in my life where I have to go full steam ahead and I'm feeling anxious, what do I want to create from this? Well, Nikki and I decided to do a live from it, maybe help some other people, right? What can I create? I can create relatable moments to other people. I can create integrity with myself every time I choose to continue to move forward, when I might want to just take the easy avoidance route and crawl into bed with a book, right? So you can put yourself in a place of empowerment and ask, what do I want to create from this? Maybe, who do I want to be through this experience, right? Mm-hmm. Do you want to be gentle towards yourself? Maybe you're always really hard on yourself. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to actually be empathetic towards yourself for once. I know, I'm considered the strong one, right? People will come to me, but I I want to be somebody who can be vulnerable. And so, with my partner, I opened up to him and said, hey, like, I'm feeling this way. And that was who I wanted to be. I wanted to be somebody who can admit when, hey, I'm not feeling my strongest, but I'm going to be strong and power through it. Right. And so I'm just going to give you those 2 questions for now, but there are so many amazing questions, 5 that we really love, that can really help reframe something in a way that will help you move forward as opposed to keep you stuck. So I hope this helped. Nikki, if you have anything to add, please do so.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly recap the 2 questions Emily shared. What do I want to create from this? That's such a powerful question to help you get back in the driver's seat, because we really do get to choose, like Emily said. We have a choice as to where we put our focus and what we're going to do about our circumstances. And then also, who do I want to be? And start connecting to that. Like, what are the character traits and the qualities that I want to embody and lead from? So be sure to comment me and we will send you those 5 questions. Thanks for tuning in. This has been great. Hope it's been valuable for you, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.